So Matt,
Yes, Alex?
the other day you sent me a note and you said you had a revelation. You cracked the code.
Yep, I cracked the code. So, Alex, I made a lighthearted joke in a conference not too long ago, simply saying, "Hey, if you want to use Dataverse, you have to be able to converse in OData because that's how the filter works." And I got kind of a light laugh, as people are like, "Oh yeah, we don't do that." Okay, but it bothered me, Alex. It made me upset. Well, why can't I converse in OData? If I had the ability to use the LLM to go out and grab OData, because the LLM speaks in OData, why couldn't I do something like that? So that's what I did. Would you like to see a demonstration, Alex?
Let's see it, Matt. Show me.
All right, so here we go. What you see here is the interface, and so what we do here is I added a create generative answers action here, and you do that by coming here and going to advanced and going to generative answers. And the first thing I did when I come in here is I hit edit and I turn off a couple of things. The thing that I turn off is send a message. Okay, I do want the AI to use its general knowledge because I'm going to ask it a question and I want it to respond back to me. So I'm not giving it any data. I'm not attaching any data to it. I'm simply saying, hey, ignore everything that you think about. I want you to be an AI that generates queries. And then I have a series of things. I name what my columns are going to be and what I'm going to ask for. Okay, so and then I have my color column, which is numerated value. It's a choice column in Dataverse. So I give it a 7 as being yellow. Now there are ways around this, but this is just for our sake here. And then I say, all right, this is what I want your return to look like. I want it to look like just the OData. I don't want any fluff. I don't want any sure this is the answer kind of thing. And so what this looks like when I begin, and of course the input is going to be my activity text. The activity text is what I've asked for. And so if we take a look here, right now we've got everything undefined, and I'm going to use a Windows V, and Windows V allows me to have a clipboard here. So I'm going to pull up our prompt, and I'm just asking it, create an OData query and return a search where these properties, and I should return OData to me, and that should come out in my variables. So I'll go ahead and hit go, and this is going to hit, first of all, dynamic chaining is going to hit this particular trigger because it's asking, I ask for OData queries. Once it does that, as it did, it's going to generate the answer, and you can see here is my output. Right there, my voltage is this. It wrote me a OData query, and from Dataverse, here's my Dataverse connection. I have my table name and my environment, and here are my select columns, and here is that variable. Right? Here's the variable here. Here's the variable here. I go straight in, and I've got a return of 19 items. So that's it, Alex. That's how I cracked the code. I can now speak in OData to my bot.
No, that's really great. I think put this into perspective. We talking with a lot of organizations, a lot of customers, Matt, who very excited to get involved with Copilot Studio, and there are snags, right?
Yes.
We're seeing that, you're seeing, and so it took you a while to get to this point, did it not, to find these things out?
It took me, yeah, it took me a little bit because at first what I was trying to do was trying to use string manipulation inside of the bot in order to find out what my OData query should be, and I can use things like slot filling and other things that return variables from the user's input, and it wasn't working well because what if they didn't put in a certain property? What if they put in they added another one or that kind of thing? It was very difficult to construct the actual OData prompt. So I just thought, hey, it would be great. I would just ask Copilot this usually. So why don't I just ask Copilot this? And this is how it came up. And the cool thing here is I'm using it for Dataverse. It doesn't have to be Dataverse. I can ask it for any number of things. I can ask it for a SQL query. I can ask it for Python code. I can ask it for virtually anything I want, have that data come back, and then be able to plug it into my connectors and other pieces of my bot.
Having that accessibility now is just going to expand the capabilities of this bot tremendously.
Yeah, that's true. So what I was using this bot for before is I had an Azure AI search behind it, and best practice always says when you're using bots, you're building bots. Best practice is direct lookup is always better than search, because direct lookup is going to give you the most relevant answers, because again, you're looking it up directly with properties. So in this way, I don't need to use a fuzzy search. I don't need to use natural language query or anything like that. I can just pull it directly from a direct search using the database's own language.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you for sharing. This is exciting stuff, and hopefully for our hundreds of thousands of viewers out there, you will find this just yourself as you're building out Copilot Studio. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Thanks.